Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling something truly legendary, a philosophy of achievement, really, and money-making.
Yeah, this one's got some history. It's basically Andrew Carnegie's secret formula.
Right, but it's not just theory, is it? It's built from looking at, what, 500 successful people?
Over 50 years. Exactly. Real-world experience. The author actually spent, get this, over 25 years researching, testing this stuff after Carnegie first spilled the beans.
Wow. Okay.
So what we end up with is supposedly the shortest, dependable philosophy of individual achievement out there. It's meant to be a proven blueprint.
A blueprint, I like that. So our mission today is to unpack that blueprint, the famous 13 steps to riches, and, the core idea behind it all.
Which is pretty mind-bending when you first hear it.
It really is. That thoughts. Well, they're actually things that your thoughts, if they're intense enough and you truly believe, they can literally turn into, well, money or whatever goal you have.
It's the ultimate thoughts are things idea. For us today, it really means intense focus, right? Channeling all your mental energy, getting rid of that doubt that stops most people.
You have to become, what's the phrase? Money conscious.
Or success conscious, yeah. Until that goal isn't just a goal, it's like a burning obsession.
Okay, so let's start there. If it all begins in the mind, step one is desire, capital D.
But we need to be clear, it's not just wishing.
Right, not like, oh, I hope I get rich.
No. The source calls it a burning desire to win, something definitive, where you leave yourself absolutely no way out except success.
Like the warrior burning his ships after landing, that kind of commitment.
Precisely that. No retreat possible, victory or nothing.
Okay, that's intense, but how do you make that practical? Desire is an emotion.
And that's the brilliant part. It immediately gets practical. Step one, desire, is followed right away by 6 very definite, very practical steps. This is how you actually transmute that desire into money.
Okay, transmutation. Let's hear the mechanics. How do you take that burning desire and actually, make it concrete?
All right. Step 1, fix the exact amount of money you want. No vagueness allowed. Be precise.
Okay, down to the dollar.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Second, determine exactly what you intend to give in return. This is huge. The source hammers this point. There's no such thing as something for nothing. The law of economics won't allow it.
Right, value for value. Makes sense. What's third?
Third, set a definite date. When will you have this money? Be specific.
A deadline.
A fourth, create a definite plan to get it. And this is key. Start at once. Don't wait until you feel ready. Just start.
Action immediately. Got it. Fifth.
Write it all down. A clear, concise statement. The amount, what you'll give, the date, the plan. Put it on paper.
Okay, like a written contract with yourself.
Exactly. And 6, this is where the mental engine really kicks in. Read that statement aloud.
Yeah.
Twice a day. Morning and night. And here's the kicker. As you read it, you have to see, feel, and believe yourself already in possession of the money. I'm not going to get it. Already have it.
Wow, okay, wait. So this isn't just like positive thinking. It's structured, written down, scheduled. You're actively programming yourself.
That's a good way to put it. It solidifies the goal, makes it real in your mind first. And the power of this, the source tells this incredible story about the author's own son.
Oh, right, the story about the boy born without? Was it outer ears?
That's the one. No physical sign of ears. Doctors basically said, he'll likely be deaf and mute.
And the father just refused to accept that.
Completely. He made this daily pledge fueled by this intense desire and unwavering faith that his son would hear, would speak. He wouldn't accept the doctor's reality.
And did it? I mean, how did that work out?
Amazingly, they found the boy playing with an old record player, Victrola. And he had clamped his teeth onto the edge of the case, and they realized he could hear the music through bone conduction.
No way. Through his teeth and bones.
Yeah. So the father seized on this. He used this discovery, plus constant positive suggestion, to convince the boy that his condition wasn't a limitation, it was actually an asset, something unique.
Honestly, that's hard to believe.
Yeah.
Transforming a physical handicap just through belief and suggestion?
The philosophy argues exactly that the mental state, the unwavering belief, essentially created the pathway for the solution.
So the suggestion became reality.
It did. The boy later wrote a letter to a hearing aid company explaining how he heard through bone conduction.
And they listened.
They did. That letter sparked an idea, led to innovation in hearing aid technology. His so-called handicap literally became a valuable asset. It's a powerful testament to desire mixed with faith. It just doesn't recognize impossible.
Okay, that story really lands the power of desire and faith. But what else is critical in this blueprint?
Well, building right on that foundation, you absolutely need decision. That's step 7 and persistence, step 8. These are huge.
Why decision specifically?
Because the opposite, indecision, is labeled the seedling of fear. It's what leads straight to procrastination, right? Which kills action.
Ah, okay. And lack of persistence. That brings us to that famous story, doesn't it? 3 feet from gold.
The classic cautionary tale. Are you Darby?
Mm.
He was drilling for gold, the vein disappeared, he got discouraged, and just quit. Sold all his machinery cheap to a junk man.
And the junk man.
The junk man was smarter. He didn't just guess. He called in an engineer. Someone with specialized knowledge.
Okay.
The engineer looked at the fault lines and said, you know what? The gold is probably right there. And it was just 3 feet from where Darby stopped drilling.
3 feet? He lost millions because he stopped 3 feet too soon. Wow.
Millions. All due to lack of persistence and, crucially, not seeking expert advice before giving up.
That detail, 3 feet, just sticks with you. But Darby learned his lesson later, didn't he? There was another story.
He did. He called it his 50-cent lesson in persistence, a completely different situation.
What happened?
He saw this little kid, a young girl, trying to get 50 cents from an adult relative who was getting really angry, telling her no, threatening her.
Uh-oh.
But the kid, she just stood her ground, said yes, sir, politely to the threats, but didn't budge an inch. Just kept standing there, waiting with total resolve. The adult eventually just gave in, paid the 50 cents. Darby realized the kid's power wasn't argument or force, it was just unyielding persistence. Simple, quiet, absolute refusal to quit.
Huh. So persistence isn't always loud and dramatic. It can be quiet determination.
Exactly. The source stresses. Persistence has to become a habit. It's not something you just muster up occasionally.
And this links back to decision. Right. Making decisions quickly and firmly, like the Henry Ford example.
Perfect example. Ford was known for making decisions quickly and definitively, and then changing them very slowly, if at all. He had that persistence habit.
Like when his engineer said something was impossible.
Yeah, some engine feature he wanted. They told him it couldn't be done. He didn't argue, didn't debate the technical details. He just said, go right ahead anyway. I want it, and I'll have it.
And he just kept saying that.
For a year, he just held that line, that definite decision, until eventually the engineers figured it out. They found a way to do the impossible.
That's determination as a habit, all right.
And think about it on a massive scale. The 56 guys who signed the Declaration of Independence, talk about a definite decision.
Yeah, they were literally putting their lives on the line.
Absolutely. Staking everything, lives, fortunes on that one collective, definite decision. And that shared courage, that definite purpose, created what the source calls an irresistible power. It's what fueled the entire revolution.
Okay, so we've got desire, faith, decision, persistence, strong internal drives. But what about external factors? Knowledge, other people.
Crucial point. That brings us to specialized knowledge, step 5, and the mastermind, step 9.
Specialized knowledge. What's the distinction there?
It's a really important one. Trips a lot of people up. General knowledge, knowing a little about a lot, isn't that useful for actually accumulating wealth, according to this philosophy.
So my trivia night skills won't make me rich.
Probably not. Knowledge is only potential power. It's basically useless unless you organize it, direct it through practical plans toward a definite goal.
Like Carnegie himself, he wasn't necessarily the steel expert, was he?
Exactly. He readily admitted he didn't have all the specialized knowledge about steel manufacturing, but he knew how to acquire it.
Through his team.
Through his mastermind group. He surrounded himself with people who did have the specialized knowledge he needed, and he organized their efforts.
So the knowledge itself might be out there, maybe even easy to get, but organizing it, applying it, that's the key. And the idea, that seems paramount.
The idea is everything. The source gives a couple of fantastic examples of just how powerful a single, well-organized idea can be. Remember the enchanted kettle?
Vaguely. Refresh my memory.
Okay, so this country doctor sells an old kettle, a wooden paddle, and a slip of paper with a secret formula to a young drug clerk for $500. The clerk's entire life savings.
Wow. Big risk for the clerk.
Huge risk. The doctor walks away debt-free. The clerk, he bought an idea. That formula was the original recipe for Coca-Cola.
No way. That kettle.
That kettle, that formula, that idea launched a global empire, generated massive fortunes. The real value wasn't the physical stuff, it was the concept.
That's incredible. And the other example, U.S. Steel.
Even bigger scale. Charles M. Schwab. He didn't go to J.P. Morgan with piles of cash or factories. He went with an idea.
What kind of idea?
A detailed strategic plan for consolidating the steel industry. And critically, he presented it with total conviction, total faith.
And Morgan bought it.
Immediately, based on the power and clarity of Schwab's idea and his presentation. That led directly to the formation of the United States Steel Corporation.
And the value of that idea.
The source estimates Schwab's idea alone was effectively marketed for a profit around $600 million back then, which is just astronomical.
The takeaway isn't the number, though.
It's that he brought a plan. An organized application of specialized knowledge turned into a high-value, marketable idea. That's step 5 in action.
Which leads perfectly into the mastermind principle, step 9. Define that for us. What exactly is a mastermind?
Okay, the formal definition is coordination of knowledge and effort in a spirit of harmony between 2 or more people for the attainment of a definite purpose.
Coordination, harmony, definite purpose. Okay.
It has 2 sides. An economic side, which is pretty obvious, cooperation, teamwork, synergy. More gets done together than alone.
Standard business practice, really.
Right, but then there's what the philosophy calls the psychic characteristic.
Okay, psychic sounds a little out there. What does that mean in practical terms?
Think of it as cognitive synergy. When minds truly collaborate in harmony, focused on one goal, the combined mental energy creates something more. It allows the group to access insights, solve problems, tap into creativity, basically operate at a higher level than any individual could.
So it's like the group mind becomes greater than the sum of its parts, accessing better solutions.
Exactly. The source even calls it tapping into infinite intelligence. It's about the power of combined, harmonious brain power focused on a single point. Like Gandhi moving millions in unison that required incredible coordination and shared belief.
Okay, so we have the blueprint. Desire, faith, decision, persistence, specialized knowledge, mastermind. These positive forces. But obviously, most people don't achieve massive success. Why not? What stops them?
The internal enemies. We touched on indecision, procrastination, lack of persistence. The source says these are usually symptoms of deeper, more fundamental things. Fears.
Right. The 6 basic fears. Can you list those?
Sure. They are identified as the fear of poverty, the fear of criticism, the fear of ill health, the fear of loss of love, the fear of old age, and the fear of death.
6 core fears that hold people back. And the philosophy highlights one as particularly damaging.
Yes, the fear of poverty is called out as the most destructive. It supposedly paralyzes your ability to reason, crushes imagination, kills self-reliance. It's devastating.
And how does that fear specifically sabotage the steps we've talked about?
Well, think about it. Fear of poverty is what makes Darby quit 3 feet from gold, right? Fear of criticism stops people from making a definite plan, step 4, or starting immediately, because they worry what others will think or say.
So they never even launch their idea.
Exactly. Fear of ill health might stop someone from taking the necessary risks. Fear essentially undermines the whole process. It injects doubt where faith is needed, indecision where firmness is required.
So the fears aren't just abstract worries, they're active agents of failure within the system.
Precisely. But here's the countermeasure, the solution offered. It's actually quite empowering.
Okay.
Fear, the source argues, is just a state of mind. It's an impulse of thought. And the only thing humans have absolute control over is their own thought.
We control our thoughts.
Right. And since everything starts with a thought, every invention, every fortune, every action you can master fear. How? By deliberately filling your mind with your definite purpose, your plan.
Keep the positive goal front and center.
Actively drive out the negative thoughts by focusing intently on the positive ones. You have to consciously choose what occupies your mental real estate. If you don't plant positive desires, your mind will automatically feed on the negative stuff, the fears, the doubts that you fail to control. You have to occupy the territory.
Control your focus, control your state of mind, control your destiny. That seems to be the message.
That's a big part of it. So the final takeaway for you listening is maybe this. Riches, real wealth, when they show up in abundance, tend to arrive quickly, almost suddenly sometimes.
But not by accident.
Never by accident. They come only in response to definite demands based on these definite principles. Accumulating wealth requires imagination, that ability to take specialized knowledge, fuse it with ideas, and organize it all into workable plans.
And maybe here's a final thought to chew on, connecting all this back to the bigger picture, the economic system we operate in.
Go for it.
This philosophy and the system itself really doesn't promise something for nothing. It can't. It's governed by what the source calls the immutable law of economics. And that law simply doesn't recognize or tolerate getting without giving.
That's a powerful point. The opportunity within a capitalistic system, the chance to build wealth, is immense. It's available. But it allows you to accumulate riches in proportion to the value of the useful service you render.
So the message isn't just think rich, it's provide value.
Exactly. If you want exceptional rewards, you need to figure out how to provide exceptional, useful service organized through these principles. The opportunity is there for anyone willing to master definite purpose, persistence, and coordinated thought. The real question is, are you willing to pay the price?